and welcome to Community Link. My name is Christian Hoffman. I'm the Vice President of Public Relations and Development at Community Missions, and Community Link is an opportunity for Community Missions to tell a little bit about the programs that we offer, how you out there might need to take advantage of some of those programs, and also how you might be able to help us to do just that. I've got a couple of guests here with me today from our mental health housing programs, which we'll get into here shortly. But I wanted to take a moment and give you a heads up on a couple of different events that we have coming up. On Monday, July 29th is our 23rd annual golf tournament. It's going to be held at Niagara Frontier Golf Club. Once again, just as it has been for the past several years, we have about 100 golfers that are going to be coming out, and thank you so much to many different sponsors that have already signed up to support that event. Also that week, we have a couple of giveaway days, which we've been doing throughout the summer. We've moved this one up so that it fits a little bit better into the summer calendar. So these are going to be on July 31st and August 1st at our main site, 1570 Buffalo Avenue. So if you haven't been out to one before, it's a nice cookout lunch that we do for our community kitchen. So we're going to be grilling hot dogs and hamburgers those 2 days, and then giving away a whole bunch of items that the community has been generous enough to donate to us. So it could be household items or clothes or toys or many other things that get donated to us, and you can we would encourage you to bring some bags with you maybe, or some way to take things home with you, because there's a lot of great stuff all available for free at our main site. We hope that you'll come out on those days, Wednesday, July 31st and Thursday, August 1st at our main site, 1570 Buffalo Avenue. A couple of other events off in the future a little bit, and we'll talk about in future months as well. Niagara Path, who we talked to just a couple of months ago, is our substance abuse and harm reduction program at Community Missions. They are having an End Overdose Awareness Day community event on August 31st. And then we're also going to be holding a meat raffle to benefit Community Missions programs. That's going to be on October 5th in North Tonawanda at the Sakura Post on Payne Avenue. So be on the lookout for that. You can always follow along with us on social media, on both Facebook and Instagram, and we'll be posting a lot of information about those programs at that point. So I want to welcome in our guests today. To my immediate right is Wayne Helmbrecht. He is the Cleveland Heights Housing Administrator, and then to his right is Tina Vermeer, our Canal View Program Manager. So welcome.
Thank you.
So, you guys are here to be talking about our mental health housing programs. So, Wayne, I'll start with you. In a big picture, what is mental health housing and what do we kind of offer?
Well, there's a couple different programs that we do offer. We have a supportive housing program, which is a little different from what we manage, where they have the residents find their own lease, and then we provide case management services. But the program on my complex, there is a 10-room group home, and then we also have a treatment apartment program, also classified as a TAP program in New York State through Office of Mental Health. And what we do is we are a transitional program for our residents so they can develop their independent living skills so they can transition to a higher level of living, either in the community, in like our supportive housing program, or other different programs that might be in other areas of the state. And we help develop their skills we create service plans and we guide them along. Even though treatment's in our name, we don't really treat, but we develop their skills. We communicate to providers on ways we can help, or deficits or positives that they're working toward. And we help them with like medication management training, health services, daily living skills is a large type of thing that we help them. There's many different things that could fit into that, from budgeting to shopping, menu planning, hygiene. And so that way, as they progress, they can live on their own in the future.
Yep. All right, great. And then Canal View, kind of how does that fit in with what Wayne was telling us?
Canal View is basically the first step. Okay. They oftentimes will start at Canal View, and very similar, we're teaching them life skills, cooking, budgeting, symptom management, making sure that all of their linkages are in place, their medications are all being overseen, and getting them to that next step where they would be able to live a little bit more independently, and then moving on to the TAP program.
Great. And talk a little bit about who qualifies, who would make sense to go to someplace like Canal View to start with.
So oftentimes, intake gets the referrals from the hospitals, from rehabs, or even individuals that may be at home with the parents where they're just really struggling with their symptoms, their mental health and or addiction. And those referrals then would go to our intake, and then they're interviewed. Our agency doctor also will review and make the decision as to what level of care that they would begin at. The resident may want to start at the TAP program, but oftentimes they would feel that they would need to start at our program first, and then they would be interviewed. They'd come out and take a look at our program. We would talk to them and decide if that's the appropriate place for them.
Sure. So Wayne, so you've got the Hanson House there on site, and then the apartment program both. So what are big differences that you can explain to people between those two?
Well, the Hanson House is similar to Canal View, where it's a group home setting where it's a little more one-on-one with residents, where they're, they have a bedroom, not like a full apartment, shared common areas. They work together on meal preparation, cleaning, activities, and we try and make it at all our programs. That's where they live. That's their home. We try and make a family atmosphere along with that, and we try and do that with family atmosphere for staff and residents. And then when the transition, or if they come into the TAP program, where it's an apartment setting. So we have 30 residents at full capacity with 15 apartments on site at our Cleveland Heights complex, where 2 residents share an apartment, and we have it fully furnished, from pots and pans to towels if need to be, full bedding, and we give them all the tools to start, and we develop and help them shop and make sure that they're able to do it. And some are very independent, and some need a little bit more direction to fine-tune those skills. And we kind of customize those service plans that I mentioned for each resident, so that way we're not just working on the same thing for everyone. It's all customized for what their skill level might be. And then we also have another 21 apartments that will fit 32 residents in our, called scattered site apartments. They're all where we hold the lease on regular just apartments in the community, and we provide the same services. Some are singles and some are doubles, again, where they share apartments, and then they're a little more independent in that level. We're still helping them with those skills. We're still going on site in their apartment, and all those are in a certain, kind of near from Pine Avenue to Portage, around Niagara, going toward Hyde Park and all that area there. And then, as that they gain those skills and the confidence, and then, we come up with discharge plans for what might be the best suitable, more independent housing level for them. And that's our main goal, is to have them. And sometimes they're in our programs for 6 months, and sometimes, they're in our programs for, 10 or 15 years, based on all their skill level and how well they progress. And, they all have a mental health diagnosis coming in. That's the main criteria of what we work with. And then there's some residents, as Tina mentioned, with substance, that are co-concurring diagnosis as well. We're not about substance, we're not about treatment, we're about housing. But we see them more than their providers, as I mentioned, and then we communicate. We work with the providers, and and ask for suggestions or how to work, or we go with them on appointments if need to be. In the apartment treatment setting, they're a little bit more independent most of the time. Sometimes we see that they struggle, and let's take a step back and visit your doctor, and we can talk about this. And some might need help, explaining that or advocating for themselves in these different provider settings.
Sure. Right. So I'll ask each of you, what does a day in the life look like at Canal View? I know every day can be different.
Every day is a different day.
If someone was coming to look at, staying there, what might they expect?
So a typical day, we are 24-hour staffing. We have a staff change at 8 o'clock. That's usually when they're going to see my face, Monday through Friday. The residents are getting up. Their meds are observed. We don't give them their meds. They are learning independently how to take their own meds. They're learning what those meds are and why they're taking those meds. They're independently getting their own breakfast that may have been put out. Different options have been put out for them. And then most of the time, they're going off to a day program during the week. I'm sure that on previous shows you've talked about our PROS program. There's also various programs within the community that they can also choose to go to that are just going to offer other supports for them. And upon coming home at Canal View, we're a little bit more unique, I say, just because we've developed, we're at a point now where we were able to develop daily activities for them. We have somebody that comes in and does meditation with them. We have canal walks that they do twice a week. We have morning exercises, stretch exercises that they can choose to do, cooking classes. We have round table talk brunch on Saturday mornings, just various different activities that we're able to do to keep them occupied also. When they get home, we're usually offering some sort of an activity group for them. And then all the residents are on a rotation for preparing dinner. So we usually have 2 residents in the kitchen with staff observing them prepare dinner for, it's served family style. So they're having dinner and then working on their restorative services. Canal View, and I'm sure, you know, just like at Hanson House, they are very much family. And so you always see them congregating in the living room and enjoying each other's company, or sitting out now with the nicer weather, sitting outside. So it's a little hectic between 4 and 8 o'clock, but again, it's just very much family time and them enjoying what they're doing and also doing their chores. They all have chores and responsibilities to keep up their home. And again, staff are there to observe and assist them and to teach them along the way.
Great. I don't know if you want to talk much about Hanson House. Does it sound similar?
It's
or
very
any
similar.
differences? Okay.
We're single rooms, so sometimes we get a little different personalities in our programs. And where Canal View, there's 2 residents in one room, and it's separated a little bit. But we, you know, we do a lot of the same things. We'll do activities. We'll do some shared activities between both programs there in the complex. Is an advantage that we have, you know, 2 programs in the same location. But they go to day programs. Some will volunteer at Buffalo Ave or various places in the area at our Buffalo Ave main location, and they, you know, they're working toward, you know, coming into like the TAP program or living on their own in the community. And so we, you know, yet again, yeah, some can cook really well and some don't know how to cook. And so we focus on, you know, starting where the basics are. You know, do you know what a menu is? Where do you find it? What do you like? You know, it's all catered toward them. So we're not going to teach them how to cook, you know, a fish dinner when they don't like fish. You know, so those are kind of things that we'll work on designing and you know, helping them learn how to do that. And it's a lot about building behaviors in our programs, because we're building those behaviors so they can be more functional in the community. As Tina mentioned, you know, Canal View is unique in how they do things, and you know, Hanson House and especially the TAP program are very unique or different type of programs in the Niagara County area. These programs are throughout New York State and certified through Office of Mental Health in New York State, and you know, the Niagara County also is in conjunction. They're the ones who